favorable taxation system, and easier compliance for the setting up of the company, etc. Even then, startups in India have to deal with various obstacles like funding, insufficient skill, lack of marketing strategies, and various other factors. Over that, startups have obligation to operate in compliance with laws and follow the ethical behavior. Non-compliance with laws or ethical misconduct may land the startups to serious troubles like fines, then punishments, revocation of licenses, litigation expenses, etc., which may cause an adverse effect on the limited capital of the startups. Now we will see some of the most common legal and ethical issues that startups face in countries like India. So the legal issues are, so the first one is the licensing and permit issues. The startups may require various licenses, permissions, permits, etc. in order to execute their ideas, as due to lack of legal knowledge, the startups may end up paying penalties and may even end up being unethical or illegal. The requirement of licenses, permits, etc. may vary from business to business. So, before starting a business, the person should be aware of those local laws, rules, and regulations that are associated with that particular business. The other issue with respect to licenses is that sometimes it is not much quick and easy to get licenses from the government authorities. Also, it requires a lot of time and money to obtain licenses. Some of the licenses required by the companies are registration certificates, GST registration, FSI license, import and export. Everyone present here. Myself, Namita. Thank you, Namita. Advertisement and marketing. That is the main important factor in case of startup for a legal or ethical issues. So advertising and marketing are very important for any startup or any other forms of business, but advertising false claims of sense, scandalous or seditious advertisements may give rise to serious criminal penalties, and it may throw away the goodwill and reputation of the firm. Or and for startups, such mistakes may be like stepping over a small growing
prohibits all kind of direct or indirect advertising of tobacco and tobacco products in all media. The Food Safety and the Standards Act 2006 prohibits the advertising of infant formula in order to encourage the breastfeeding of infants. Physicians under Indian Medical Council Regulations 2002. Legal services under Bar Council of India rules, prenatal sex examination services under the Prenatal Diagnostic Techniques Act 1994, alcohol or alcoholic beverages under Cable Television Network Rules 1994, guns and other firearms under Arms Act 1959, medical services and medical devices, religion related comparative advertising, which compares one's product with a competitor, deceptive or misleading advertising. So, examples like World Health Organization has also prohibited the sale and marketing of infant formula, like Nestle faced a lot of criticism worldwide for being accused of violating ethical marketing goals and manipulating customers with misleading nutritional claims about its baby milk formulas by comparing it with mother's milk. Then next one important factor is the business model. So what is business model? A transparent business model that illustrates how the investors are going to get returns on their investment has to be there. A time-based revenue generation as per different prices of your products or services is to be shown clearly. So the main parts of this business model are key partners, key activities, key resources, value proposition, customer relationship, channels, and customer segments. Customer segment is the most important part in this case. Then next one, market competition. That is also another important factor. Every new product or service faces a stiff competition in the business market that separates you from your competitors is the to as far as investments from your target audience are concerned. Then the infrastructure zone. The infrastructure zone is also very important where some zonal laws are related. Allocation of property for the purpose of the office, warehouse, service center, manufacturing units, etc. is another major challenge for startups in India. The startups should be aware of local laws regarding the commercial use of agricultural land, school, hospital properties. In India, land comes under the domain of state government and the laws related to land vary from state to state. And the startup must be aware of the zonal laws. And the zonal laws are the regulations that deal with the use of land in a particular area. For example, the local municipal authority in an area can pass a law forbidding the use of any property or land for industrial or commercial purposes as it is a residential area. The zonal authority divides a locality into 8 parts which include residential, commercial, industrial, public and semi-public, public utilities, open areas, parks, playgrounds, transport and communication agricultural uses. The zoning authorities may decide to prescribe the height, location, and map of the building where the commercial work is carried out. The purpose of the zoning laws is to separate residential areas from the commercial areas. In case a person plans to operate a business from his residence, he or she may be required to take necessary permissions from the local municipal authority, town planning authority, landlord if the property is being used by the tenant. Then the intellectual property law will be described by our respected Julie Pathak madam. Madam, please continue.
Thank you. I'm going to talk about intellectual property. And this property is very important for startups. Uh, this uh, this property tells us about the rights. Whenever a new company starts, we have to know the legal rights. The first in this content is the patents. Patent right is valid for 20 years, and patent is given for uh, anything which is invention, new manufacturing process, formula. Uh, it's been given and it's very important for any industry. Okay, patent right is given to the patentee for 20 years. Okay, the patent
আপনি
right
ফটো করক মই ভিডিও
is a
কৰি
right
আছো
which allows the owner
জিআই
to
ফটো
make
জিআই
the
ফটো
exclusive
মই ভিডিও কৰি আছো
commercial use of his invention. And he gets the right for 20 years in case he ignores the patent registration, then anyone else can copy. So one has to be very, very, uh, uh, conscious, must be aware of whatever he has discovered or whatever invention he has done. Next comes copyright. Copyright is related to software applications, magazines, that's articles related to the magazines, the logos, the brands, articles, research work, the ideas, any kind of literary work, artistic work. It can be song, it can be music to be valid in the law of court. Okay, to avoid any kind of dispute in the future. Like what we will be, be distributing the profit, especially in partnership, the share of profit, the loss has to be determined very clearly. And it has
ভিডিঅ'টো
to be
কিমান সময়
clearly
হ'ব লাগিব
stating about the capital investment goals,
15 মিনিটটো নহ'ব
responsibilities
2
of
3 মিনিটহে
co-founders,
কৰিছো
and the salaries, decision, percentage of ownership, how it will be sold, okay, how it will be, disclosed, how it will be resolved, mechanisms also has to be stated very clearly. A contract with service providers. Now, business cannot run on its own. Obviously, service providers will be there. So, this service providers also must enter into agreement, which is legally termed as contract. So, while making any contract with any service provider or supplier, the contract must be drafted carefully and it should include all the major and minor details, which should include timing, quantity, quality, cost, etc. And it should also mention the jurisdiction in case of conflict. This happens, the pros and cons has to be seen before. While drafting such contract, the co-founders should keep in mind that they should keep their liabilities limited and the contract must also state that what will be the dispute resolution mechanism in case of any dispute arises. Employment contract. A startup should get signed an offer letter with its employee when hiring, because hiring someone without any proper agreement will lead to dispute with respect to working hours, salary, etc. The employment contract must also contain all necessary direction and information with respect to work, like what will be the office timing, what will be the salary, what is the job position, who will be the supervisor, terms and conditions for termination also has to be given very clearly in the offer letter itself. Now we come to ethics. A business runs in a society. So they have to give back to the society. Since they exist in a society, a business has responsibility towards the society. So first is that since business is directly related to customer, first their loyalty to customers. The startup should not indulge in any kind of activities which may not bring in the interest of the customers. The startup should accept the feedback from the customer and should take care of the after-sales service and assist the customer. The startup can grow only with the help of satisfied and happy customers. Next comes the responsibility towards the employees. The employees for a startup are as important as the wheels of a car. Be it a small or big employee, everyone contributes. Contribution is necessary for the proper growth